Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. Well, since you came all this way, why don't I tell you a story?
Hey kids, it's time for Story Time with Rob. Story Time with Rob. You never really know what he's gonna do next. You never really know what he's gonna do next. Story Time with Rob. Story Time with Rob.
I just love telling stories. Hey, I've got another story for you guys. This is the story of how Miss Chezzi basically had a restraining order on me. Miss Chezzi, also known as Chezzi! What do you mean run faster? I've never seen you run in my fucking life. Chezzi! Yo, cherry dog! Fat bitch! Chezzi! So, it was around this time last year, the exam period of first semester, and I was walking in the halls when I probably shouldn't have been because exams were going on and you're not supposed to do that. And Miss Chezzi was the person at the corner because my school is a perfect square. And so she's at one of the corners making sure nobody walks in the halls. And she sees me and she's like, Rob, you can't walk in the halls. And I didn't want to deal with her shit, right? So I just thought, like, gotta say something to distract her. And so I looked at her and I was just like, Miss Chezzi, I steal things all the time. I can't even help myself. Sometimes when I'm walking through the lost and found, I'll just take everything and give it to pawn shops. I'll nab cell phones and iPods off tables. Sometimes I won't even keep them. I'll just throw them away because I don't want other people to have them. And she was like, well, Rob, you know, there's support groups and numbers you can call and to help with these kind of things. And I was like, no, I think I'm going to keep on stealing. And I just like walked away and it worked. Like she didn't tell me to go to the office or go to the caf or anything. I got to keep walking in the halls. So then later in the week, I saw Miss Chezzi hassling somebody about, I don't even know, something. I just kind of walked in. I didn't even get to see the beginning of it. But she was hassling somebody, and I was thinking, like, yo, this worked last time. So I went up to some of my friends, and I was like, guys, watch this. This is the coolest thing you'll ever see. She's over there like, and I was just like, Miss Chezzi, I steal things all the time. Sometimes I grab stuff from people, and I throw it back at them, but I make sure it breaks on impact, just so that they can never, ever have it back. And she'll just be like, Rob, honestly, I can't deal with this right now. I just cannot deal with this. Take it somewhere else. And then I'll be like, but Miss Chezzi, I just love stealing. Stealing. And she'll be like, oh my goodness. And just like walk out of the room. Because she just couldn't handle it. And I'd look back at my friends and be like, isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? Miss Chezzi, I had found the Achilles tendon of Miss Chezzi. The Achilles heel of Miss Chezzi. She couldn't be her bitchy, I'm going to give you shit for nothing self, so long as I rampantly talked about thievery. So eventually it became force of habit that every time I would see Miss Chezzi, I would just tell her I was stealing stuff. And she would always walk away, and that became too boring. It stopped working. It lost effect. So every time after, I'd say about a month into second semester, every time I said anything to her, which is literally just about the only time we ever talked, I would just say something more consecutively more illegal every time. So we started getting things like, Miss Chezzi, I sell crack. Miss Chezzi, I sell crack to children. Miss Chezzi, I use crack money to buy slave children. Miss Chezzi, would you like to buy some Vietnamese opium? Miss Chezzi, I'm casing your house. Miss Chezzi, I'm going to kill you someday. Miss Chezzi, I kidnapped your husband. Miss Chezzi, I just had tea with Fidel Castro. Oh my goodness, Fidel Castro, here, have some tea. I am so honored to have you in my house. I have so many questions. Miss Chezzi, I'm a racist. Miss Chezzi, I'm a sexist. Miss Chezzi, I'm an ageist. Miss Chezzi, I'm generally discriminatory. By this point, I actually thought that me and Chezzi were friends because I would always like, all of the things that I was saying to her were clearly jokes. I mean, first of all, she would know if I kidnapped her husband because he wouldn't be around. Next of all, I don't know anybody my age who's involved in the slave trade. I don't think that really happens. I never have any money, so I'm clearly not a drug dealer. Had tea with Fidel Castro, I think that's a given. I'm clearly joking. And I thought that we were joking with each other, because every time I said things like this, she'd give me, like, joking replies, like, oh, well, I hope the police catch you. No thanks, Rob. That's unfortunate. Things like that. So I kept kind of saying illegal stuff at Chezzi for an entire semester, because it was about the second examination period of that year. And it actually got to the point where if I even caught a glimpse of Chezzi, I would chase her down until she was within earshot so that I could say something illegal to her. And I remember the morning, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I was walking, I was still kind of sleepy, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw Miss Chezzi. And so I was like, come on, Rob, gotta say something illegal. So I ran into the room she was in, and I was just like, Miss Chezzi, this weekend at grad party, I plan on force-feeding young women alcohol and rufinol and taking advantage of them. And then, as it kind of came to me as what I had just done, I was in the guidance office with the entire GBAA, who are, a few of them are pretty easily offended, females, and also my boss's wife, Miss Schmidt, which is never good. And Miss Chezzi was just like, Rob, why do you tell me these things? And I was just like, I don't know. I wondered if you had anything to say about my situation. And then Miss Schmidt was like, Rob, that's so inappropriate. Go to class. And I was like, oh fuck, and I went to class. And then later that day, I ended up going to Mrs. Moss's office, and she said to me, Rob, Miss Chezzi was in my office earlier today, crying. Apparently, you've been confiding in her with some very extensive and detailed stories of the illegal endeavors that you include yourself in. I have a list here of some of the things that you've said, and as she's reading this list back to me, I'm thinking like, oh my god, Miss Chezzi thought I was serious. This is crazy. As if she thought I was serious. I said some horrible things as if she thought I was serious. Miss Moss is reading me this list, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And she was like, the police were here earlier. Miss Chezzi wants to charge you with harassment. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'll say I'm sorry. And Mrs. Moss is like, oh no! Oh no! She promised not to lay any charges so long as you swear to oh God that you will never ever talk to her again. And if you do, she will notify the police and you will be detained. I was like, oh my god, I honestly thought that we were kidding. I'll say sorry. I'll say sorry. Tell her I'm sorry. She was like, no, Rob. And I was like, well, what do you mean? How, like, she's like, you have to stay 100 feet away from her. End of story. So I say to Miss Moss, 100 feet away from her, we go to the same school. Like, if I see her coming towards me in the hall, am I supposed to book ass in the other direction? Like, come on. She's like, no. Just don't look at her, don't talk to her, move to the other side of the hallway, don't smile, nothing. Nothing at all. No contact with Miss Chezzi or you will be arrested and expelled. I was like, I didn't think this was such a serious issue. She was like, harassment? You didn't think harassment was a serious issue? You told Miss Chezzi you were going to kill her. You told her you would kill her husband and everyone she knew. You told her that you were going to burn her house down. I was just like, oh. Miss Chezzi has just recently started talking to me again in the middle of this semester. She'll tell me to like turn my music down or not eat in the halls, and if I try to say anything back, she'll just like disappear. She moves quickly away from me. I don't know. And those, my friends, are the Chronicles of Chezzi.